Karen, Dan Hight, Placer.ai. I run location analytics and market intelligence, and I run and oversee the advertising and media group for us, where we work with agencies and media companies, provide intelligence for them to run more effective advertising. How about that?
That's great.
Kara?
I'm Kara. Yes, take it away. I don't have as much to say. I'll keep mine short and sweet. Kara Sellentine, and then I'm the CMO for Lotus America, so oversee Canada, US, South America marketing.
Oh, wow, very good. So let's talk about kind of the journey you took to this position of being CMO of Lotus, and kind of what lessons could other marketers take kind of in that path?
Yeah, I begged my way to the top. I think
that's the short answer.
Yeah, Dan, this is gonna be. Hold on tight, giddy up. So my first job out of college, I worked for Jerry Springer. So I worked for.
Oh, there could be some stories there.
The party has started. But I say that because I went to school for TV, communication, marketing, the whole kit and caboodle. You'd think that Jerry Springer would be a dream job. But the opportunity to work for NBC,
sure.
A huge network, was a great foot in the door.
Yeah.
I don't know that I ever thought I was going to get into automotive.
Become a marketer too?
Yeah. Well, automotive.
Okay, get into the automotive. Yeah.
I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
I'm from the Motor City. So I think there's that aspect of like, when you come from a city and that's all they live and breathe.
Sure. It's either that or Motown, I guess.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yes, I could have been a musician. But I think there was a part of me was like, no, I'm not going to get into that. My dad was in automotive. My grandpa was everyone's in automotive.
Yeah.
I'm going to go my own path. Well, it finds you, right? It just does.
In your blood.
Right.
In your blood.
You can take the girl out of Detroit. You clearly can't take the Detroit out of the girl. And so what I realized was I was like, well, the creative work is still in automotive. So I had sought out creative work in automotive, got onto the agency side, and then I worked for Stellantis, which I think is still, or at the time was, fourth largest automotive company in the world. So as you can imagine, just a lot of experience.
Yes. So you were at Stellantis for quite a number of years, and obviously at Lotus now.
Yeah.
What makes kind of the automotive industry so unique from a marketing perspective?
It's especially interesting being at these brand innovator engagements, because sometimes I'm a total fangirl of the person who gets to sell on Amazon, right? I'm like, oh, just imagine if I could just sell like Lay's potato chips.
A thing, something,
right. Right.
Yeah.
But instead, and because some of my time at Stellantis was spent on the premium side as well. So I've always been selling $80,000, $100,000 cars, and it comes with a lot of challenges because your database of data goes, here you go, here's your target. But
it's also not direct marketing, it's inspirational, it's a lot of other things.
And you nailed it. And that's but what's exciting about that is that the opportunity for creativity is higher, because you can't just be status quo. You just can't be an ad. You click on it, you find it on Amazon. Amazon reminds you, this is what you bought last.
Time to order another one.
What you bought last. That's not happening in the car world. So again, I get to be more creative. So I don't look at it as a negative thing. Also, like cars. Can I use the word dope?
You can use dope.
All right.
Sure.
Dope. All right. I told you I'm from Detroit. So especially when I realized that I really started to get into and appreciate the design of cars. Is and why some auto manufacturers, I won't name any, but you can imagine them. I call them iPad on wheels. They lack design, and that drives me crazy, right? If you really stop to look at the innovation behind some of these cars, oh my gosh. I go to car shows all the time, at least once, twice a month. I mean, legit. gorgeous car shows, collectors bring out their $500,000 cars, and like there's, for me, a ton of appreciation, and collectors especially, these are their babies.
Oh, sure.
So, like,
well, there's a nostalgia aspect of things, to it. There's functionality type of thing. And so I'm sure as a marketer, I mean, you have to consider all of that stuff in the storytelling, which to your point, gives you a lot of area for creativity of how do you incorporate lots of different messages to lots of different people.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was your first car?
Oh, my first car was a 1991 Chevrolet Camaro.
No. Oh, wow.
First car.
Big money.
Yep.
Okay.
And I paid cash for it.
Oh,
I saved up and I paid cash for it. And I was so proud to buy that car.
Yeah. But, and I love that you said that. So, like, and I don't want to genderize it, but sometimes it seems like, a young male thing where it's like, I'm getting the best of the best. For me, it was like whatever dad would let me buy kind of thing.
And what was your first car?
I had a Pontiac Grand Am.
Okay.
So, yeah. But same, I bought cash.
Okay.
But less expensive than the Camaro. So you clearly cut more.
My insurance rates were higher though, so.
Okay. Yes. You were cutting lawns like crazy.
You got it. That's what I say for. That's very cool. So how do you balance growing, your own brand and enhancing your growth really from, the brand that you're building as well?
Yeah, that's I'm glad you brought that up. Something actually, I'll say, I'm going to go to LinkedIn because LinkedIn has become a big focus of mine for my personal brand marketing, because obviously, like, I'm very career forward. This is like, my career means a lot to me, and I also believe, like, whatever brand image I put out of myself,
it projects on your brand, your company brand.
100%.
Yeah.
We are our greatest marketing tool, and I'm essentially free.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I?
No, it's many years of paid experience with that. It's not free.
Yeah.
But you're a brand ambassador by nature.
Sure.
And obviously, as being the CMO, you are the clearest representation of that.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. And even, Brandon from Brand Innovators will tell you that I used to show up to all the BI events in my branded jacket with, it was Alfa Romeo at the time. I'm trying to only focus on Lotus. Now, last night I was in my Lotus jacket. To me, again, that's easy to do. I also, from a personal brand perspective, like, I came from very, very humble beginnings. So clearly I had a Grand Am, right? You had a Camaro, big money over here. But I like to remind people that you can be whatever you want, not to be.
Well, in many ways, that's part of, like, brand marketing for that. So you're selling the dream and what can be. And especially when you're thinking about the luxury brand that you are. I mean, in many ways, it is about selling that dream and the aspirational aspect of it.
Yeah, 100%.
I love that.
Which I also think then coincides with luxury cars.
Sure.
Which brings me full circle back to Lotus, right? Because there is not everyone had a Camaro at your young age. So it is very aspirational to the younger generation. Well, one day I'm going to own a Lotus. But one day I'm going to have the two-person sports car.
So I had the Lamborghini, poster in my car, in my room growing up. It's like, I want that. I mean, remember the Ferrari Testarossa in Miami Vice, So Yes. Yeah, it's that what up.
Okay, what movie was Lotus in?
Lotus. You gotta tell me. Can't remember.
No, you're...
no, it was. Oh my God, pretty. No.
Yeah, no, you got it. You got it. You just said it.
Oh my God, no, it was not Pretty in Pink. No, it wasn't Pretty in Pink. It was Pretty Woman.
Yeah, Pretty Woman.
Yes, because women can drive it better because they have the smaller feet.
Yeah.
Remember that? Of course.
Yes, and Richard Gere.
Yes.
So, which is, well, I mean, that's another aspect. I really love the Lotus brand. Again, there's a lot of new automotive companies coming out now, which I have to say, being from Detroit and the big three, the idea of, like, these smaller companies I didn't know there was anything but the big three for the longest time in my life, right? I just didn't know anything outside of it. But with Lotus, what I love is that it's over 75 years old, the brand. It's got so much history, so much heritage. It's been in motorsports. It continues to be in motorsports. You know, Pretty Woman is just one aspect. James Bond. So like, there's so much from a marketing and brand perspective to work with, like some real meat and potatoes, rather than just being, all right, we're this startup company.
Yeah.
Again, no offense, but what there seems to be a trend and theme to some of these older brands that are like being rejuvenated.
Yeah.
I say this all the time. New Balance, Tiffany's jewelry. I don't know if, are you familiar with Carhartt, the brand?
Carhartt?
Yeah. Okay.
Not for that one.
All right, they're not okay.
Okay.
They're a Detroit-based company,
Okay.
but they've been around for years. You can see them in France now.
Yeah.
You know, but again, I think it goes back to that. The marketer is really able to play into the history, the heritage. You know.
Well, speaking of history, what would you tell yourself 15 years ago? What advice would you give to yourself 15 years ago, where you are now, what you've seen?
Oh, I have really cliche things to say.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, just patience, which I've never had, ever. It was like, I want this. I want this. This is who I want to be. This is who I want to be. This is what I want to do. I want to be, you know, in the south of France with you know, and I'm not kidding. Like, this is, like, this younger me is like, where
are you?
And they bought you dinner?
Yeah.
What? Like, younger me is just so thrilled.
Yeah.
And I always, again, don't mean to be cliche, I always go back and I talk to her and I'm like, girl, wait till you see what's coming.
Hang in there.
So yeah, just definitely patience, but also reminding myself that everything is a choice.
Yeah.
Like nothing is by chance. Me sitting here, I'll tell you a quick story how I got into Brand Innovators.
Yeah.
Is someone recommended that I go to one of their events in Detroit. They were like, oh, you should go to this. This looks so cool. And I took a look at the event and the site, and it's like 3 days away. And I do stand-up comedy and whatnot.
Cool.
That's a whole other.
Oh, wow.
But so often seek out speaking engagements. Yep. And so I had reached out to Brand Innovators. I was like, what are the chances, like, there's an opportunity for me to be a part of this event? And they found a place for me on the panel, which was super cool. And again, I thought they were going to be like, no, we're not taking anybody. And then from there, I have just adored working with them. But again, that was a choice. Nobody told me to email Brand Innovators. Nobody told me, like, to find speaking engagements. So I always go back to, like, this isn't a chance. This all, I also make things right? I put it out there. Stellantis, the way I got into Stellantis, I made it known. I asked someone who worked there, and they go, I got a job opening. You're not going to like it.
Can't be shot. Can't be bashful.
No.
Yeah.
No. And you have to tread lightly, like what's aggressive, what's...
What you do with marketing as well, right? It's like, what envelopes do you push? What do you not? Where do you do that? Like, do you take more creative risk in certain types of advertising modes versus others? So I guess you get to scratch that itch as well. So.
Yeah.
So we were talking about this a little bit earlier in terms of the targetability and some of the tracking aspects of things from digital marketing and maybe some of the inspirational marketing of things. How do you kind of grapple that as a CMO of, you know, different types of brands and different types of constituents? How do you handle that, and what's changed, and where do you think it's going?
So I saw this post on LinkedIn, and it basically said, there isn't a marketing funnel anymore. It's a pinball machine. And that, I found that
really interesting.
Yeah, I found that fascinating. And I especially see that with luxury automotive. And I'm going to speak about luxury automotive because that's what I know best. And I see that a lot in the respect that my consumer might not be going to our website.
Sure.
Ever.
Yeah.
he might be walking into a multi-brand dealership and didn't necessarily go in for one thing or another. And here's the price point, of my car, and then says, yeah, let me add that to my 10 car collection.
Yeah.
That is a real thing.
Sure.
That happens often,
Wow.
Because a lot of what I'll hear from my dealerships, who is very much my customer as well.
Yeah.
And again, that's where it makes it different than selling Lay's potato chips.
Yep.
Is I'm selling to my dealer as well. So, making sure that I'm setting him up for success to sell our cars. So I'm sorry, so again, a lot of it, my dealers will say, like, this is relationship based.
Yeah.
I had a person come in, they bought 3 cars from me.
Wow.
and then I shared with them the value of owning a Lotus and why you should own a Lotus. Or similar to like watches, right? Where you'll have special editions.
Yeah.
Those are highly valued as well. So there's it's different.
Yeah, because you're not doing, especially with Lotus and luxury brands, you're not doing like last click attribution. It's so different than what other marketers are challenged with.
Yeah.
And there's pros and cons of that. It's just the way, it's to your point, it's the pinball machine, which I love that analogy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Me too. Now, at the end of the day, though, where there's opportunity for focus, and I think this goes for all luxury, there's opportunity, a huge opportunity, and what I'm doing is that you're driving awareness to the brand, whether they're necessarily themselves are ever going to own that car.
Sure.
Right? I saw Playboy go through this and still going through this with merchandise. My stepdaughters, were wearing the Playboy shirts because it was cool. They have no aspiration to be a Playboy bunny, right? Yeah. That isn't the sentiment, but it's hip, it's cool.
Yeah.
Is the thing, to do and wear. Cars, especially luxury cars, are definitely having a moment in the merch space.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're familiar with the store Forever 21.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you don't look like you shop there.
I don't, but I have 4 nieces, so
perfect. Yes. From my understanding, they essentially have a pay-to-play model where, like, you don't get commission on sales at their store. You pay them to put your shirt in the store.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's marketing at its finest. But it's proven that is what such an impact is, that you throw, your merchandise in a huge retailer like that, and then you've got 17 to 25-year-olds or 42-year-olds like myself still holding on to their youth, shopping at Forever 21. Got that. But that's essentially, that's marketing. That now you're paying a couple bucks for that.
Yeah.
So I guess where I'm going at that is that still with the digital side, I believe that driving the awareness, creating the upper funnel is still very imperative. The leads will come.
Yeah.
Again, they might come like a pinball.
Different ways, yeah.
Yes.
All right, last question for you. Crystal ball time. 10 years out, where are we in automotive?
Just everyone in general, or like me?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
Brands,
me,
buying them. What do we are?
I think that's very dependent.
I know. So give us your perspective. You're in the car industry. You're in the automotive industry. Where are we in 10 years?
I can tell you what I wish.
What do you wish?
I hope that the younger generation doesn't lose the appreciation of design for cars with the enhancement of technology. And I'm going to do a shameless plug here because I can. Lotus recently came out with their first EV SUV. This car goes 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. How fast did your Camaro go?
I think 0 to 60 in 6.4 seconds.
So
That's quick.
Okay.
But not under 3. That's a motor. That was an old motorcycle.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
And this is an SUV, right?
Wow.
This is a 5-seat passenger, you know, car. So whatever, you can quickly get your nieces to Forever 21 if you need to. But I share that because this car still takes or is inspired by the design of Lotus. It is absolutely stunning to look at. I mean, everything is just, the interior is very well thought out. You can change the color of the interior inside with the display lighting if you want it to be pink. I personally love pink, green, whatever. So it's still very much well thought out. And then the technology aspect is very much there. So I do hope that we don't lose that. I hope the younger generation also continues to get their driver's license.
Wants a car.
I know. And it's and again, maybe that's just continued opportunity because I'm starting to see this in automotive as well regarding ride shares. So maybe at the end of the day, maybe my customer base is going to become more focused on rideshare opportunities. Like for instance, I saw that I won't say any names because I think they're all doing it, but rideshare opportunities that are partnering with higher end vehicles. Because I'll give you an example. Like I love using ride shares, but there are times that like I regret getting into the car that I get certain cars. Like and so there is definitely a need for more enhanced, you know, premium experience with ride shares, and I do believe that's an incredible opportunity for automotive. So,
Kara, this has been a great conversation. You can do this all day long. And this is awesome.
Yeah,
so I appreciate it.
You're super easy to talk to. I love it, and appreciate the time.
All right, well, thank you so much. All right,
cool. Thank you.